Really?
Fucking Roethlisberger, the quarterback, was all fucking hug it, chug it, football all night.
I know football. What you did with those boys. You were the right man for the job, coach.
You're Hall of Fame in my book.
Now, let's analyze what's been working for us. Not a goddamn thing's been working for us. Like this goddamn suit doesn't work for me. And this stinking tie, and this goddamn shirt, it doesn't work for me!
I'll tell you why you don't have your $10 million yet. 'Cause right now, you are a paycheck player. You play with your head, not your heart. In your personal life, heart. But when you get on the field, it's all about what you didn't get, who's to blame, who underthrew the pass, who's got the contract you don't, who's not giving you your love. You know what? That is not what inspires people.
This is your opportunity
For
here.
you. Playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime. But I don't want your life.
I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that itch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that itch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. You know how to play winning hard-nosed football? You play football like a Gennaro played football. A guy who gave his life for this football team. He was a 140-pound halfback, and he played like a goddamn wild man. No, like a goddamn rampaging beast. And that's the way you gotta do it. You go out there, you tear their fucking heads off, and you shit down their necks. Let us pray.
I'll see you in L.A.
No heart.
No heart? I'm all heart, motherfucker!
You talk. Give me two. What up, Paul? On the podcast, Mike V and Mike G. We're live. It's week 4. What do you want from us? How can we serve you? You get in here now. Don't waste your time. You know, we're not going to be here all day. Don't show up 40 minutes late and then expect us to sit around until 1 o'clock. We got our own lineups to worry about, right, Mike?
That's right. Get him in. Get him going. Let's see what you guys got.
It's week 4. We got a live game going on right now, so it's possible maybe viewership will be smaller because someone's watching that game. I don't know why you want to watch a London football game. I think it's the stupidest thing on earth, of course, because it affects us in a negative way. A 9:30 a.m. football game, and then 6:30 if you're on the West Coast. It's just bonkers, dude. I'm not a fan of it. I've never sat down ever and watched a morning London football game ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess people in London like the Jaguars, right? So technically, it's a home game for them. So
yeah, I guess
I'm with you though.
I don't like it. I did, of course, bet on it. Doesn't mean I'm not going to bet on it. Of course I'm going to bet on it. Hey, Dom Caboose is here. You guys kick ass. What up, Dom Caboose? Good to have you here. Make sure you subscribe, like the video. You know how all that stuff works. It makes the show grow. We connect with others. And then one day, maybe just one day, we could do this for a living. That's the dream. And we want to serve you guys as best we can. Dom, if you got questions, drop them in the live chat here. Everybody, the live chat is open. Yeah, I took a same game parlay with Trevor Lawrence. I needed 2 touchdown passes.
We got one from him already, so that's good.
Oh, we did?
Yep, threw it to Calvin Ridley.
I did have Evan Ingram to have a touchdown catch. That's the one that's going to be the hardest one to fulfill. So,
yeah. Dom says, bench one of these running backs in PPR. Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Kyron Williams. Ooh, that's a good problem to have.
Joe Mixon against Tennessee's defense. They're really good against the run, terrible against the pass. Kamara returns against Tampa's defense. Also pretty good against the run, although I need to check the injury report to see who's available for their defense. And also Alvin Kamara with Jameis Winston. Not a good history of catching enough balls, which makes Kamara more valuable. And then Kyron Williams against Indianapolis. Yeah, I'm not benching him, so I'm probably benching Kamara.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Kamara for me as well.
Although it's close because Mixon could catch more balls out of the backfield now that Burrow's all banged up too. I just don't, this Burrow thing, I don't know how it's going to go, man. He can't just keep going out there with a hurt calf. His calf is truly hurt. He has a strained calf. It's going to cause more problems. They're not going to be able to get away with what they got away with last week against the Rams versus Tennessee in Tennessee today, Mike. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw any of the game last on Monday night, but it's clear his throws are off too. He's airmailing a lot of them, right? He just doesn't look right. Doesn't look like Joe Burrow of old. So I don't know why they keep rolling him out there, risking the re-injury or making it worse. Honestly, if it's this early in the season, I'd rather have him sit out a couple games, get right, and then we have a full, healthy Joe Burrow, which is going to help this offense tremendously. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. But Joe Mixon is going to have a tough sledding against Tennessee today. You beat him in the air. Everybody knows this. They're good against the run. I actually think this is a trap game. I think Tennessee actually has a good chance of beating Cincinnati outright today.
I do too. Yeah, I would actually take Tennessee and the points, although it's going to be really tight, and I'd rather not stress out over that game. Hopkins or Palmer from the Lost Tape on the Twitch side. Twitch, people. That's right. We love you. You're welcome aboard. Also, right now you might be watching this on Twitter because you can watch it on Twitter, but you cannot comment. So if you're watching this on Twitter, go on over to the YouTube link instead, and then you could jump in the live chat. For some reason, you could watch on Twitter, but you cannot engage in the live chat. DeAndre Hopkins or Josh Palmer, I assume. I'm going Josh Palmer.
Agreed. I know I'm with you on that one too. Hopkins still doesn't look right for me as well. I don't know what's going on with him over there in Tennessee. I think he's got an ankle injury he's dealing with. I think Treylon Burks is out today though, so
he is.
Hopkins could see a little bit more targets come his way. I still like Josh Palmer here. I think this is going to be a shootout. Actually, not anymore. I think LA rolls him. No Jimmy Garoppolo today for Las Vegas, but I think Palmer has a chance at a touchdown today for sure.
That's putting it mildly.
Aiden O'Connell, first career NFL start on the road, and that's the best place you want to be because there's no intimidating factor whatsoever for any visiting team that comes to take on the Chargers. There's no home field advantage at all. So I actually like Aiden O'Connell a lot today. He can throw to Devontae Adams. He can throw to Jacoby Myers, and he was a gunslinger at Purdue. They threw a lot, so he knows how to do that. I like it. What about Sean? What's he got to say?
I don't have. Oh, Sean, here we go. What's up, man? Sorry, I missed your question there. Morning, guys. 10-man half-point PPR. B-Rob versus the Eagles, Brian Robinson, or Damian Pierce versus the Steelers. Don't have any better options, unfortunately.
Ooh.
If it's PPR, I mean, both Pierce hasn't been getting a whole lot of work out of the backfield as a pass catcher, but I do like Pierce. I do like Pierce today versus Steelers, so that's who I'm rolling with. I'm going with Damian Pierce.
Yeah, Pierce could not rack up a lot of yardage, but could have a touchdown if that's good for you. But this is half-point PPR, so Brian Robinson more valuable than Pierce for sure. He can catch balls out of the backfield for Howell. Howell has really gotten the shit beat out of him lately, and his offensive line does not seem to be helping him much there in Washington. And against Philly, it's going to be tough. So I'm hoping for some more dumps here, if they're smart. And I do believe Eric Bieniemy, offensive coordinator, very talented and wise man running that offense. And also will be the next head coach of the Washington Commanders after Ron Rivera's fired or retires. It's going to happen. I see it now. But I'm taking B-Rob over Pierce.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's also worth noting, too, out of all of the games, and we have a pretty good weather report for all games today, but it looks like there's 10 mile-per-hour winds in Philly today. So take that for and being as, now that I think about it a little bit more, being as that Sam Howell struggled last week against the Bills, maybe they rely a little bit heavier on the run game today to kind of help him out and kind of lean on Brian Robinson a little bit more. It's in Philly. It's going to be a tough sledding division game. Neither are really, really great options. I don't feel good about either one of them, but yeah, I'm going Pierce by a hair, but it's close for me.
Yeah, I mean, some of this shit, you get to toss a coin, and who the hell knows? Anybody's trying to tell you there's a clear-cut advantage with some of these situations, they're going to need to give you a really juicy stat to support it, or it's just their opinion, like it is ours. I mean, I know that Washington got rolled by Buffalo last week, but they're not that bad. They're also not as good as they were when they came back against Denver a couple weeks ago in that miracle win. And actually, look at this. Got to start 2 out of 4. Godwin, Kelly, Ashane, or Dell. I'm not going to start Ashane because I don't know how many carries he's going to get, how much opportunities he's going to get the ball in his hands. That's the mystery right now. Again, he's also a frail guy. He really is. He was a frail guy in college. He's not a workhorse back. So if you got to start 2 out of 4 and you're giving me no other context with PPR or anything like that, I'll probably go Kelly again. I'll go one more time with Josh Kelly, even though he screwed everybody last week. That's a great time, though, to say, just when you think it won't work, it will work. So I think about Kelly and Dell here, actually.
I'm going to Shane and Dell. It's been reported earlier this morning that Shane has earned more work, quote unquote. So they want to get him the ball more.
Who gives a shit? He's got Mostert's a veteran back, though. I'm not buying that.
After last week, I don't know how. After last week, I don't know how they don't get him the ball with Mostert. I do think that game is going to be a shootout between Buffalo and Miami. If I had to pick two, I'm going to Shane and Dell. I'm done on Josh Kelly. I think they throw the ball a shit ton today like they did last week. I'm not big on Godwin either. I mean, I do think Lattimore is going to be pressed up against Evans. That's usually the matchup they go with. So it could open some more opportunities for Chris Godwin, but I just haven't seen it. ESPN talked about it. Field Yates talked about it too. He's kind of in that Terry McLaurin range, which I thought was a very, very good comparison. He's a better real life football player than he is fantasy right now. Until they start looking his way more, I just don't. I mean, he almost had a touchdown last week. I mean, he stopped at like the half-yard line before he got pushed out. Yeah. Long story short, I'm going to A-Chain and Dell here, but it's close.
Wow, dude.
If I had to rank them, I'd go Dell, Shane, Kelly, and Godwin.
I'm telling you, man, I've seen it a million times. Guy has this big game like a Shane had last week. It was a lot of garbage time. I mean, it was 70-20. It was just a weird game that doesn't happen again. Also, think about last year. Remember last year's first game when it was the Dolphins and the Bills? Everybody expected a big shootout. It was back in September, and it was a 21-19 game. Okay, I know the playoff game was 32-29. That was back in Buffalo in the cold. But back when the weather was like it is now, last September, it was 21-19. Yes, the Dolphins have grown since then. It's a year, but it was Tua versus Mr. Josh Allen. Josh Allen had 400 yards, but Tua only had 189 yards passing, and it was Tyreek Hill was totally shut down. He had 2 catches for 33 yards in that game. So I'm just giving you some history in this matchup. In these divisional matchups, I think the history does matter. It doesn't matter as much when it's not divisional.
Yeah, Dom says I'd be going to Shane and Dell personally. Don't think they want to overload either back to keep them both healthy all year. That's a good point. Like Michael said, I think Mostert's still the guy to get majority of the work today. But again, I think still like you, and actually what you mentioned in a previous comment here, Dom, is neither back need 20 carries to be awesome or relevant. That's true as well. But again, I think especially with the offensive brilliancy of Miami, I do think that Miami finds a way to get the ball in his hands. And you're right. I think he gets anywhere between 10, 12 touches, maybe a little bit more. We'll see how the game goes. But I just like a change upside. The best out of all of these guys. Sean says a Shane over Pierce, right? Who you going there, Michael?
I don't know. I don't think it's that obvious. I mean,
Yep.
Pierce is the back in Houston. Shane's got a timeshare going on.
Yeah, I like Pierce and bet a little bit over Shane today. I think Pittsburgh actually has a decent chance at maybe pulling off an upset today.
Wait. You said Pittsburgh or Houston?
Houston pulling off an upset today over Pittsburgh. I don't think their offensive. I mean, I think they're going to try to get Pierce going. He had a bounce back game last week. Noting that their offensive line is probably still not up to speed yet. I think they're getting one of their guys back today. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but I'd go Pierce slightly over there just because I think the volume is going to be a little bit more in Pierce's favor than a Shane's. So,
telling you guys are playing a Shane and you're banking on like him to break a 70-yarder. If he doesn't do that, I don't know how valuable he is. Other than in 1-point PPR leagues where maybe he can catch a few balls, it's inconsistent right now. It's early. I don't want to overreact to one game. That's classic mistake in fantasy football. Oh my God. I mean, breakouts happen, but they also happen in a timely way at times where it makes sense. This doesn't make sense yet because of the weapons that Miami has at their disposal. I mean, they're loaded. It's not like he's the guy by any means. Even if Mostert was there and there was nobody else to throw to. That's not the case whatsoever.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting, too, that after this week, Jeff Wilson is going to be eligible to return from the PUP list. So it's going to be a 3-headed monster. And Mike McDaniels loves Jeff Wilson. And noting that backfield between Wilson and Mostert always is either one or both of those guys is always banged up. I think Chain obviously has a little bit more of a long-term outlook for a fantasy this year. If everybody stays healthy, that's going to be really tough to figure out who's going to get the ball in most weeks. So,
well, if you look real quick, just to show you, week 2, Shane's debut, 6 snaps, right? Okay, he's getting in the groove. So just think about that. That was 2 weeks ago. Then last week, this game goes sideways. They don't need Mostert anymore, so Shane gets a lot of run. He gets 41% of the snaps in a weird-ass game. So week 4, what will that column look like after today? I don't think it's going to look any better than 45%. Really, that's how I see it. I don't think he's going to be that much more involved.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an interesting game for sure. I actually like this game the most out of all of the games on the slate today, so I'm excited.
You mean from a fantasy perspective or as a viewer of NFL?
Viewer of NFL.
Of course, yeah. It's a game of the day. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to be watching Broncos-Bears. That's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a big-time doozy, dude.
Yeah, no way. No thanks. I'd rather take a nap.
Oh, well, tell us. You sound like you're sick. Maybe you do need to take a nap. You all right?
I am. Yeah, I'm dealing with a head cold. It's been going around my house and at work, so I'm feeling better. The past 2 days have been kind of crappy for my wife and I, both not feeling too hot. So.
Oh, fuck, say it!
Yeah, that's not cool, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm like,
you feel better.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Better. Everybody wish Mike well, okay? Come on. He puts in a lot of work. He works his butt off. He gives you guys winners. He knows what he's doing. We all want Mike to feel better. But I got to tell you, until you feel better, you're going to be stuck watching a game for a moment, possibly, that could be the highlight game of the day. And even though it's not Dolphins-Bills, Broncos-Bears should provide a lot of fun from the offensive perspective. Both these defenses suck, and Justin Fields has been terrible. Can't be this bad, though, right? Or can he? I don't think he is this bad. And we've seen what the Denver Bronco defense was like a week ago in Miami.
That's putting it mildly.
Terrible. So there should be plenty of fantasy points in this game.
I said that the other day, and I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, I know he's getting killed on social media, Justin Fields, about how bad of a quarterback he is. And don't get me wrong, I am not giving him a pass. He has been bad for these first 4 weeks, or 3 weeks, sorry, going into week 4. So I don't think he is that bad. I think, honestly, he's pressing a little bit. I think they need to help. And this is not rocket science. Like, everybody knows this. They need to implement some more designed runs for Justin Fields. That's what makes him, right? I don't think anybody from this beginning of draft season or even dating back to last year was thinking, hey, this guy is an elite pass thrower. He's an athletic quarterback, right? So you have to play to his strengths, and I don't think the Bears are doing that. So I actually put more blame on the play calling of Chicago than I do Justin Fields, but I'm not giving him a pass. He has not been good as a pass thrower. So next question we have in here from CXM Puade. I don't know how to say that.
Sixem Puade.
He's going Thielen or Higgins. And again, I don't know if it's PPR or not, so if you can give us some more context on that, that'd be great. But for me, it's clear-cut Higgins here. Tennessee is just awful against the pass here. I know we just got finished talking about Joe Burrow not being 100% healthy, and he also dropped some balls last week, but I'm still going Higgins.
It is PPR. He followed up with a PPR. Okay, so in PPR, Thielen or Higgins. Bryce Young behind center today once more for the Panthers, the rookie who doesn't have a clue. 1 week watching Andy Dalton throw for 361 yards, supposed to change him? I don't think so. And Minnesota's not a good defensive team. We saw that. But, they set your boy Herbert to the moon with a beautiful, beautiful day. He was 40 of 47, 400-plus yards. It was one of the best performances by someone who threw that many attempts with a completion percentage that high. It was bonkers. So maybe Bryce Young will have his best game to date, and that means Adam Thielen will rack up 7 to 8 catches. He's been getting the targets, that's for sure. Even when Bryce Young was at quarterback week 2, remember, I think Thielen had a touchdown and a 2-point, right? Although it was 7 catches for 59 yards.
Yeah, he had 9 targets in that game too. And it's also worth noting that the guy who's likely to be going up against Adam Thielen today is one of the worst defenders in the slot today. So I actually like Thielen a lot today, but I don't like him over Higgins. I'm still going Higgins there.
Higgins. Yeah, Adam Thielen's always on the field, no matter what. Week 1, 2, and 3, 88%, 87, 92% of the snaps. He's their number one snap guy for wide receivers, bar none. Dom Caboose has a follow-up about Fields. What's the story there? Dom?
Yeah. If Fields can't be good this week, it has to be over for him. Jimmy G put up 200 yards and 2 TDs against Denver. Tua blew them up, and Sam Howell threw for almost 300 yards. Yeah, that's a good point. I actually think Denver comes out playing a little pissed today. Now, we just got finished talking about this is going to be fantasy gold, which of course means it's going to be a shit game and nobody's going to score. So that's usually how it works, right?
That's putting it mildly.
That's true.
But I think Sean Payton's a good coach, and after dropping 70, I think they're embarrassed. I think they come out and play better today.
Is he still a good coach? I don't know. What if he's not?
Yeah.
What if he lost it? You remember when Joe Gibbs came back? Everyone's like, oh, Joe Gibbs is back. He was a 3-time Super Bowl winner, a legend in his own time. What happened there? Remember that?
Yeah, I do. That's a good point.
It's a doozy.
It wasn't a doozy, no. But he technically took Washington, although I think he was the coach when Sean Taylor was killed. That might have put a damper on the team. I do have to admit that, but sometimes a guy comes back, he's not the same guy he was. I know it's only week 4 of his return, and he doesn't have the guy he wants behind center most likely as well. Denver and Russell Wilson have not exactly been a match made in heaven. So,
who do you like in that game between Russell Wilson or Denver and Chicago? Who are you picking? If you had to do a pick 'em.
Oh, I do a pick 'em, by the way. I am part of something called the Pentathlon, which is, I've mentioned this before, it's 5 different events. It's awesome. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. Shout out to my guy, Mark Kiefer, who brought me on as a co-manager. Thanks, Mark. So you got 5 things. You got DFS, you got best ball, you've got a Superflex 12-teamer, you've got pick 'em, and Survivor.
So that's fun.
Yeah, so we each play all 5, and then there's overall accrued standings that are posted each week by the DVR, Derek Van Riper, who runs it. Thanks, Derek. You do a great job. But the thing is, in my pick'em, I'm taking the Bears just because they're the home dog, and the Broncos are no team to be fearing whatsoever.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. I actually don't know who I like in this game now that I think about it more.
I don't know how you could. I was forced.
Yeah.
Taking the home dog, that's it. They're both terrible.
I play in a pick 'em pool right now as well, and I can't remember who I selected. But if I'm going off of, I think I selected Chicago in that game.
Well, in my Survivor last week, I took Kansas City across the board for Survivor. Obviously, that passed with flying colors. My pick today for Survivor as well, and I don't fear them anymore. The 49ers will crush the Cardinals. I know they beat Dallas last week, but this time in San Francisco. San Francisco's had the Thursday night game, so they got 10 days off. This is a really good team. No way. I mean, maybe Arizona covers, that's fine, but there's no way Arizona beats them. Not this time. No way.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Cinderella story, they're going to be turning into a pumpkin today. I actually think they get their doors blown off in San Francisco today. But Donovan has a question here, Michael. I have this scenario in 3 leagues. Danny Dimes or Anthony Richardson?
Hey! What's up, Donovan? Good morning, buddy. How you doing on this Sunday? Hey, guys, October 1st. It's a brand new month, by the way. Welcome to October. Best time of the year. Fall, Halloween, football, cool weather where I can put on my hoodie and look way cooler than I do with the t-shirt on. Danny Dimes is no doubt. I put Danny Dimes in my lineup this morning in a Superflex league that I have him in. I'm absolutely starting him against Seattle's defense at home on Monday Night Football. Seattle's defense is not good. Even when Seattle wins, they win 37-27. They win 37-31. Those are 2 scores recently of the games against the Lions and the Panthers. So I'm all about Danny Dimes. AR5 against the Rams at home. He could be good, but I'm going Danny Dimes this week.
Yeah, I'm going Danny Dimes as well. No Saquon Barkley. Well, it's likely that he's not playing. He's listed as doubtful. So maybe a little bit more rushing opportunities for Daniel Jones in this game as well. Seattle's defense is shit. So anytime you give up that many points to Andy Dalton and the Panthers, give me Danny Dimes 100%. And hopefully this is a get-right game for Darren Waller as well. So, which I know a lot of people are not happy about that play.
Let me see. I love to look at how teams perform against individual positions. When it comes to tight ends, so far this season, after 3 weeks, the Seattle Seahawks, they're middle of the pack defending the tight end. They're not bad. They're not terrible. They've given up zero touchdowns to tight end so far. So maybe Waller is the guy that breaks it open and finally gets the first tight end receiving touchdown of 2023 against the Seattle defense.
There you go. Donovan says, thanks for the confirmation, gents. Absolutely, Donovan. Thanks for being a part of the show today. Appreciate it.
Hey, buddy!
Chad says, what's up, Chad?
What up, Chad?
Down bad right now. Flex, Jalen Hyatt's 0 or 15, or Latavius Murray's safe 4 to 5 points. If you're down bad, I mean, it's really tough between these 2 guys. I assume you play an extremely deep league if you have to start one of these 2 guys.
That's putting it mildly.
Latavius Murray probably has. Yeah, I'm going to go Hyatt too. Latavius Murray probably has the safer floor here, but if you're down bad, you got to go Hyatt. So I think that's the play.
I like Hyatt here. I wanted to play him last week when they were in San Francisco. He didn't do anything. They got smoked by the 49ers. Now they're at home. I'm waiting for Hyatt to have that big touchdown play, that 50-yard bomb play. And they do need to stretch the field more, the Giants do. Yep. They need that. And Hyatt's a guy who can do that. So give me some Hyatt, baby. Latavius Murray for Buffalo. I mean, how is he going to... I know he has 2 rushing touchdowns already this season, which is stupid to me because James Cook is James Cook's getting all these carries, right? But yet Latavius Murray is sneaking in and vulturing touchdowns. And then there's also Damian Harris in the mix. I don't know how this is happening, but yeah, I'm going with Mr. Hyatt. I feel good about it.
Charles is in the live chat. What's up, Charles? Thanks for being a part of the show, man.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Charles has been crushing it in the Discord, in our live chats, both for football and for baseball. So really appreciate you being here, Charles.
Go in the Discord. It's all in the description right here. You can click on the link. And the Patreon starts at $3. Got all kinds of stuff. You can check out Chad Start Sits. We've been using his for Thursday Night Football. He got Sam Laporta wrong, but that's okay. It wasn't like Laporta blew up the Packers Thursday. Don't worry about it, Chad.
Charles says, morning, gents. I have Lamb, Thielen, Tank Dell, Josh Palmer, and Kirk. Well, Christian Kirk is playing right now, Charles, so he's automatically out. He's in the 9:30 game Eastern today versus they're playing over in London. So
sleepyhead, rise and shine, Charles, wake up.
You can take Kirk out of that mix. So Michael, he has to sit 2 of these guys. Who are you sitting between Lamb, Thielen, Tank Dell, and Josh Palmer? Full PPR.
That's brutal, man. That's tough. You don't want to sit CeeDee Lamb. You just can't do that.
No.
Although the rookie Christian Gonzalez for the Patriots, it's the Patriots in Dallas today, for those of you who forgot. And the Lions could have drafted Christian Gonzalez at 12, and they didn't. They took Jahmyr Gibbs. I love Gibbs, but Gonzalez is looking like a really good secondary player. And he limited Tyreek Hill a couple weeks ago. Tyreek Hill's only lame game was against Christian Gonzalez. Can he do it again against CeeDee Lamb? Will they match up? Will they move him around on the field? Maybe they won't even be together enough. I'd have to look at the charting on that. So you can't bench Lamb. Everybody loves Thielen today. I like Tank Dell and what he's done. I think maybe it goes in the other direction today. Maybe a bit more Nico Collins today. So I love Josh Palmer, man. So I guess I'm sitting Tank Dell or Thielen for me. That's how I go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Obviously, you're not sitting CeeDee Lamb. If you drafted him probably in the first 2 rounds of your draft. So I like him today. Obviously, is a clear-cut choice to be one of your wide receivers. So it becomes between Adam Thielen, Tank Dell, and Josh Palmer. I like Josh Palmer as well. I just think, again, because of this high-flying offense with the Chargers, how bad Las Vegas is, the whole organization is in shambles. I actually think they're going to get their doors blown off today, and I think Josh Palmer is going to be a big reason for that. So give me Lamb and Josh Palmer starting. You're sitting Thielen, Tank Dell, and Christian Kirk. Lock it in.
There it is, folks. We're live. Lots of podcasts.
Utah.
2 L's, 2 Z's. Subscribe, like the video. You know the stuff. Discord's free. Patreon $3. Try it all out now. Move on. Next.
Yeah. And Dom says the Discord is an amazing community to be a part of. Thank you very much, Dom. So you heard it from Dom. You didn't hear from me or Michael. So he's in here.
That's a testimonial, folks. Thanks, Dom.
Yeah, appreciate the kind words, sir. So again, make sure you guys get in there. We offer a whole bunch of content in there in terms of fantasy football, betting, help you with your start sits. If you play fantasy baseball, we also offer content in there as well. So even though the season's coming to an end, but playing dynasty leagues, we're happy to help out there. Caden, the Colts fan, asks 10-man PPR, keep 4, just got offered Higgins and Metcalf for Lamb and Lockett. So I think the question is here, they get to keep 4 of their 4 guys in their league. And I don't know what side he's on. I think he has Lamb and Lockett. I think he got offered Higgins and Metcalf. Which side do you like better here, Michael?
Well, I don't want to give up CeeDee Lamb at all. I love CeeDee Lamb, so I'd rather keep him. I prefer between Metcalf and Lockett, it's always a coin toss. So I think they really wash each other out in the end. And I love T. Higgins, but I'd rather have Lamb. So I'll stick with the Lamb side, Lamb and Lockett.
It's tough for me here. If you're playing in a dynasty league and you get to keep 4, obviously this comes into play here because if you're going to keep 4 of these guys, I would assume Lamb is going to be one of the guys you're going to be keeping. Being as that it's 10-man league, your team is probably a little bit more stacked than say a 12-man or a 14-man league. So it's tough for me. Higgins is going to be a free agent, I think, after this year, if I'm not mistaken. Michael, is that right?
No, he just signed a deal in the offseason, didn't he?
Did he? Okay. I don't know.
Did they lock him back up again? I'll double check on that. But that was the big deal that Higgins wanted another deal.
The best player in this trade is CeeDee Lamb for me. But I just like them Higgins and Metcalf side slightly more. Tyler Lockett's good, but he's a home run play for me. I just don't. I've never really been a big fan of Tyler Lockett. I'd rather have DK Metcalf. Give me Higgins and Metcalf slightly, but if you're keeping Lamb as part of your long-term options, I like that play there. So
you were right. They haven't done a contract extension. There was a lot of talks, and they've not locked it in. So maybe T. Higgins does walk. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, it's tough. Give me the Higgins and Metcalf side slightly, and hoping that Higgins goes somewhere where, again, he's the number one in the offense.
No, I went Lamb. I'm Lamb side for me.
There you go. All right. Well, sorry we couldn't help you out there, Caden. We're split. But again, it depends on what the rest of your team looks like too. That would help in terms of who else you're keeping. So, but I would assume CeeDee Lamb's got to be part of that equation. So
yeah, you're sitting pretty, man.
It's a doozy.
Yeah, your team's a doozy. Don't worry about it.
Dom says, with Carr confirmed starting for Nola, does that change the ranking of Kamara versus Mixon? It's a good question. He's got a shoulder injury. Maybe they rely a little bit more on the run game today. I don't think they roll Carr out there unless he's able to throw the football, right? So I don't think it changed things for me. I'm still rolling with Mixon over Kamara here. I just think the volume from Mixon is going to be there. And Kamara's first game back, I think they'll probably get some more work for maybe Keandre Miller. Taysom Hill might sneak some plays in the red zone. But Michael, I don't know if you feel differently there.
I mean, Carr can't hurt himself any further, apparently. So that's how bad Jameis Winston is, by the way. They're like, no, we can't do that. We'd rather have anything than Jameis Winston.
That's putting it mild.
Including an injured quarterback. I know his throwing shoulder's not hurt, but boy, I don't know how this is going to go. Maybe, I bet what happens. They'll shoot him up, and Carr will throw for 300 yards. It's classic NFL. You think something won't happen, and it will. I got to tell you, I mean, Tampa Bay so far as a defense against quarterbacks, it's not like they've been outstanding. They faced Jalen Hurts, but they did get 2 picks on him. So that was nice. And their defense is solid. You know, Tampa Bay defense is solid. They're kind of middle of the pack in giving up points to quarterbacks from a fantasy perspective. So far, I think they've only given up 4 passing touchdowns, but they have 5 picks. So they've made it a little difficult with the turnovers. If Carr's not himself and he throws some picks today, Tampa was going to take advantage of that for sure.
There's just so many unknowns here for me with New Orleans and how they like. Does Kamara get a full complement of carries today?
Well, Kamara, no, because I don't think so at all. I think he'll never get the complement of carries because he never does. It's always never enough. They never give him 20 carries. He's just not a 20-carry guy. He's not built that way. He's getting older, too. He's not getting any younger. And I told you that Saints defense is good, man. Even though they lost to Green Bay, once again, they held them under 20 points. It's incredible. Every week, this team is on a 13-game streak. Yeah. It's incredible. The defense is tough, man. I actually been putting the Saints as an absolute top 5 defense this year. They really are. Dennis Allen knows defense, and they got a solid base. So I'm going to stick with fearing that defense going forward.
There you go. Lock that in. For those of you guys watching the Jaguars and Falcons game, Mr. Desmond Ridder just threw a pick 6, and the Jaguars are rolling right now. So they're getting blown. Yeah, I think it's 17-0 now. Jaguars midway through the second. So Bijan Robinson looked good on that drive right there, and he just threw a bad turnover, tried to force the ball into Drake London. So moving along, Donovan Miller asks, half-point PPR, need a flex, Jahan Dotson, Josh Palmer, or Kareem Hunt? Donovan, I think you're going to know the answer here from me and Michael. It's clear-cut going to be Josh Palmer for me, and I'll speak for Michael here as well. So
I love Palmer. I will say Jahan Dotson is due. So I can't blame you if you're looking for a touchdown from Dotson today. It might happen, but I prefer Palmer number 1. Kareem Hunt, no, I don't. No, get out of here. He lost the training camp battle to Jerome Ford. He was cut, okay? That happened for a reason. It didn't happen because they didn't like him. He just is not as good as he used to be, and Jerome Ford's the man there. So no Hunt for me.
Yeah, I think it's clear cut here, Josh Palmer, Donovan. I think you locked that in, and you feel good about that today.
Yep,
Dom Caboose says 60% Carr confirmed better than 120% healthy Winston. Yeah, like, hey, your shoulder's falling off, you have no arm, we'll still roll with you today.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, Jameis Winston's a backup quarterback for me.
Oh,
so, but
poor guy.
it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a close game today between New Orleans and Tampa Bay.
Looking here, injury updates. Where it's 10:34 in the morning here on the East Coast, live Palazzo Podcast.
Utah. Give me 2.
By the way, you can only catch the show live on YouTube. We do release the Tuesday waiver wire show as a podcast, but this one is only available to our YouTubers. So feel special right now, folks. Feel very special. Rams Colts. I got no good updates. Nothing here sticks out as a injury issue. Baltimore Ravens versus Cleveland. Let's see. Rashad Bateman's out. He's not playing. Okay.
Hill and
obviously,
Edwards look like they both play.
Yeah. So remember you said our Tuesday show, you said Justice Hill didn't like that toe. So you still stand by that, even though he's playing?
Yeah, he hasn't been very good effectively on the ground. I think he's the preferred pass catching back, but if you own both those guys, I feel confident Gus Edwards gets a majority of the work today. Justice Hill battling turf toe or some type of toe injury here. So Gus Edwards seems to be the guy. I don't like either one running back today in Cleveland.
Hell no.
He's got a strong defensive front. I hate saying this too, because, obviously my team is the Ravens, for those of you guys who don't know me. I actually think Cleveland's going to win this game. It's worth noting too that Winston's got a bum throwing shoulder and throwing arm, maybe, I think is what it is. So maybe they rely a little bit heavily on Jerome Ford today. So,
you say Watson's got a bum shoulder?
Yeah. Yep. He was limited in practice all week. Let him throw. Keep an eye on that. If you are rostering and starting Deshaun Watson, they said they were going to monitor him in pregame warmups. So to see how his arm felt. So,
well, he's a very honest guy. I don't have any reason to doubt that he's lying about his shoulder.
Yeah, right. Yep. You heard it here first, folks.
Sorry.
Charles says, still have Ravens D in a couple of leagues. Are they starting to get healthy, Mike V? No, they're not. So if you have other alternatives on the wire, I'd be looking to maybe, I don't know if I'm ready to drop Baltimore yet. But I'd be looking to stream a defense today, Charles.
Yeah, let's give a good option. Let's give a good streaming defense option that might be available. I like New England's defense if they're available against Dallas on the road. What do you think?
Okay. I'm staying away from that. If it was in New England, I'd probably go that route. But I think Dallas is pissed off from last game. Embarrassing loss against Arizona. I think they come out and play really, really well today. So
actually, maybe they're just not as good as we thought they were too. So that's also a possibility.
Play the "we are who they thought they were" button here.
Well, Belichick knows quarterbacks, right?
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Well, we'll see if they let him off the hook or not. Okay. What about the Carolina defense against Minnesota? No. Trash, right?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I think that game's going to be a shootout.
What about I can't do that. Let's get stuff. What about the Houston defense against Pittsburgh?
I actually don't mind that today. Again, I think it's going to be a little bit.
Mike's been drinking. So.
I don't think it's I don't think the Pittsburgh offense is anything to be scared of. Najee Harris sucks. Kenny Pickett's kind of been off and on. D'Amico Ryans is a good defensive-minded coach, so I don't mind Houston there.
Oh, Charles says Bucks are available.
There you go. I might go with that. That's not a bad play either.
I like it. No, this should be a tough game here. We've seen the Saints play so far. The Saints beat the Titans at home week 1 by 1 point, 16-15. Week 2 in Carolina, 20-17. Last week, blow a lead. Should have won the game against Green Bay in Lambeau, 18-17. So I have no reason to think that this Bucs-Saints game is going to go over 20 points. Of course, I just laid that out for you and made a case. Clearly, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly. I like Cincinnati today, too, if you have them available on your waiver wire. I like them today against the Titans. So if they're available, I might be looking for them, Charles, if you have Cincinnati available on your wire.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I got a ton of stuff to do here, so last call here. Last call of questions. Let's get it out now. Do or die, or say goodbye. Because
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Sorry to interrupt you. Update, Desmond Ridder just turned the ball over again, and Jacksonville's in the red zone. So
yes! Throw a touchdown to Evan Ingram, please! I think if he does that, I win, and that's it. I'm good.
There you go. It is 4th and 1, and it looks like they're keeping the offense out there. So here we go. Coming up.
Am I frozen? All right, what's going on here?
Yeah, you look frozen.
Strange. Never had this happen before, but you can hear me.
Yep.
That is weird. Yeah. I got the spinning wheel of death right now.
Well, we can hear you, so you guys are just going to have to be okay with looking at Michael's still face the rest of the game.
Yeah.
The rest of the show.
What the shit is this, man? Is my computer getting too old? Is it finally over? Sad day. Sad day.
Falcons stack Trevor Lawrence on 4th and 1.
God damn it. Shit. Well, that's good news. Falcons need to get back in this game. I need more. They should have thrown a play action pass to Ingram for a touchdown.
They should have. Actually, they're actually highlighting Evan Ingram right now. He was wide open and he missed him.
What is this shit?
He wasn't wide open. He was covered. I think that's
putting it mildly.
The play was supposed to go to Evan Ingram, and he got covered up pretty good. So, Michael might have left. All right. Well, maybe Michael's having some technical difficulties. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys drop them in the live chat. Happy to help. Michael will be back here hopefully shortly as he's trying to figure out his video situation. He was a little bit frozen there. So for those of you guys who don't know too, we have a Tuesday show weekly that we do to talk about your waiver wire ads and pickups and drops and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys join us Tuesday. Usually we try to do the show around 7 p.m. If you have not liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you guys do that. We really, really appreciate it. It's the best way to support our work. But again, we have about 20 minutes left in the show. If you guys have questions, please drop them in the live chat. Happy to help out. Joe says, spinning wheel of death for Govier. Or sorry, you didn't say death. I added that. Spinning wheel of Govier. Yeah, there you go. I like that. Make sure you guys drop them in the live chat here. Happy to help out. The games that I like today the most in terms of just points. Oh, we got Govier back. There he is.
Stupid. I don't know what that makes. I got nothing. Go ahead. Keep talking. I'm orange now. How about that? Weird.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. We were talking about the games that I like the most today in terms of just fantasy production here. I do like the Minnesota and the Carolina game. I actually love everybody in the Minnesota side, and I actually like people on the Panthers side as well. Miles Sanders is good to go. He had a groin injury. He did not practice on Friday, but they're saying he is playing. So if you're a Miles Sanders owner, you might want to go out and get Chuba Hubbard if possible. Who knows if this groin injury lingers, but this is the same groin injury that was lingering him during camp. So make sure you guys are monitoring that if you own Miles Sanders. We got a question from Joe here, Michael. Pacheco or Rashad White today?
Ooh, that's tough, dude. That is real tough, Joe, my man. I got to say, Rashad White in New Orleans, I just broke it down about how I feel about the Saints defense. I don't like it at all. Pacheco, the Jets defense is tough, but they suck. Maybe there's a lot of time where Kansas City can get up and run the ball. I guess I'll go Pacheco. I don't feel good about it, though.
Yeah, I'm with you. Spot on there. I don't feel good about either of these guys. I don't like the matchup for Rashad White or anybody really on the Bucs. Like Michael alluded to, I actually love New Orleans' defense as well. I think they're extremely underrated. Pacheco is the guy for me here in hopes that maybe he can see a bulk of the work. Now, as soon as we say that, watch Jerick McKinnon and CEH are going to get touchdowns. So Pacheco for me. Yep. Appreciate the question there, Joe. Everybody in the live chat, we still got a couple more minutes left, about 15 minutes left. Make sure you guys drop in the live chat here. Happy to help. We'll get you questions answered. Keep them coming.
Are you going to stay on? Because I'm going to leave. I'm having problems. If you want, please stay on. Yeah, I mean, that's wonderful. I got so much lineup stuff to do, too. I get so up against it in the morning. You know, I get up early on Sunday. I was already up at 8 a.m. ready to go, and the time just flies by. It just, next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, no, I've run out of time, and I'm still tinkering with my lineups. And I'm such a DFS freak that's a big part of my Sunday. I've already got my season long ready to go. I have that done on Saturday, barring any injury updates that maybe I need to make an adjustment to, but it's a DFS, you know, I love it. I'm dedicated to it. I'm officially an NFL DFS freak. I can't help it. And I understand the game now, and I'm this close. I'm telling you, I had David Montgomery as my captain on Thursday Night Football. That's the guy you put in who you expect to score the most points. And it worked.
It did.
But I played Luke Musgrave, and he got like half a point. So I won $25, but the winning lineups and that, I think it was a $15 entry fee, and even the grand prize was only like $3,000, which is great. I'd love $3,000. It'd be wonderful. But that guy who won it had obviously Montgomery, but the key was he also had a couple other guys that I didn't have, and one of those being Jordan Love. I didn't have Jordan Love in the lineup, but he was a difference maker. So that's the way it goes. But your guy, Montgomery, man, he was a legend on Thursday. And my Bozo Lions are 3-1. So.
Got to feel good about that defense, too. That defense looks better and better every game that I watch them, man.
Well, that's kind of a fraudulent thing. I mean, they're always going to be good against the run. They always have been good against the run. But there's going to be a team that could take them to town on the passing side who knows what they're doing. Even in that game, you know, our boy Romeo Doubs had a big game, 9 catches and 76 yards-ish. It's going to be interesting. You know, maybe I should come out there, Mike, for the Baltimore Ravens are hosting the Detroit Lions this year.
That'd be sweet, man. That'd be sweet. That we should hit that game up.
I don't know what date that game is. I'm going to look that up.
For those of you guys sitting in the live chat, please feel free to, again, drop them in there while Michael's looking that up. Michael, feel free to pop off whenever you're ready.
Yeah, it's the worst day possible. It's October 22nd. That's in 3 weeks, actually. But
I'll be gone
have
anyway.
this. Oh, I'm going to be gone too. I have an event that we do every year. I'll be out of town, and that'll be a day I'm coming back. So, we'll just have to watch it on our phones.
There you go. Joe said, real quick for you, Michael, did that Alabama rookie on the Lions D get an injury report? Is he done, or was it a minor issue?
Are you talking about Brian Branch or another guy?
I think that's who he's talking about, if I'm not mistaken. He left on a stretcher. For those of you guys who don't know, he left not on a stretcher. He left
Nothing
on the
serious.
cart. Yeah, then came back, and then he got hurt again. But it sounds like it's nothing serious, according to Michael. So that's good.
Yay! I think he's going to be okay. So nothing to be – because he's been so good. Brian Branch has been a great draft pick. It's amazing that Brad Holmes can pick the first round kind of questionably, but he does so good in the rest of the rounds. So Brian Branch is a real deal, and I'm so glad that Brad Holmes made the choice to bring him aboard. He's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks so much, you guys. Mike's going to hang with you guys for a few more minutes. Everybody, good luck. I wish you guys all the best. I hope you make money and you win everything today and you feel like a champion, and then you can have sex with your wife as the fantasy champion of the day or whatever you do. Whoever you sleep with them as a champion. That's what I say. Mike, take it easy, bro. Everybody,
appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right. So if there's you guys still left in the live chat here, make sure you guys drop them in the live chat. I'll stick on for a couple more questions. Michael alluded to David Montgomery, 3 touchdowns. I don't understand. Maybe actually I do understand the hate for David Montgomery. It's been all over my timeline and Twitter that people were talking about, David Montgomery being this awful running back. He's not as effective. Jahmyr Gibbs looks so much better. Guys, the Lions don't care about your fantasy teams. I've said this since day one. If you guys read my preseason rankings and you read my preseason fades and acquires, on my must-have list was David Montgomery. My biggest fade of the year was Jahmyr Gibbs. The writing was on the wall. Let's let the truth have its day. Okay. I do think Gibbs gets more and more involved in this offense as the season goes on, but it's clear that David Montgomery is the better guy they want between the tackles, regardless of how you feel about him. So the 3 touchdown game for me was not a surprise. This whole thing was not a surprise. The writing was on the wall. They signed him for 3 years, $18 million. All right. They're not going to let a guy just give Jahmyr Gibbs all of the work, and then Montgomery only sees the ball a handful of times. Yes, they drafted with the 12th overall pick. I understand where the frustration comes into play here, but the writing was on the wall. So David Montgomery is the guy moving forward, and I don't think he's going away. So, yeah, and Dom actually brings a good point. It's something I actually brought up on Twitter as well. Montgomery's also never had a legit O-line in front of him in Chicago. Monty is not a bad running back. I totally agree with that take. Everyone knew and going into the season, like, how did you not think that David Montgomery would not take over the Jamal Williams role, right? Jamal Williams is nothing to write home about either. David Montgomery is actually a better running back than Jamal Williams. So, at least in my opinion, I think a lot of people would share that. David Montgomery is going to be the guy moving forward. And I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so, right? So if you read my article and you got David Montgomery and you faded Jahmyr Gibbs, congrats to you. Again, I'm not sitting here saying that Jahmyr Gibbs is not going to be good from a dynasty perspective, but for at least this season and maybe the next 3 years, it's going to be David Montgomery's show. So, and I'm not a Bears fan. I just like David Montgomery and where his draft price was, and I didn't like Gibbs where he was being drafted at. So, let's see. Joe says, I might be a fantasy champion, but sleeping with my wife, man, that's really optimistic. Lock that in, right? If I had the soundboard here with Michael, that'd be the button I'd be hitting right now. But hey, who knows? It's Sunday, right? Maybe you win your fantasy football leagues. Maybe you get some, or maybe you win your matchup. Maybe you get some things done around the house, and the wife decides to help you out a little bit. So we got about 10 more minutes left in the chat. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'll obviously hop off. But another guy I wanted to talk about was Aaron Jones. I started Aaron Jones over David Montgomery this week, and I hate it. Aaron Jones only got me like 1.5 points in the standard format, and David Montgomery is sitting on my bench with 32. So really, really kicked my ass. It's burning my ass right now that I actually did that. But hindsight's 2020. I think the smart play was Aaron Jones. They said he'd be coming back. The game script just didn't favor him, and the Packers offense looked terrible. So hindsight's 2020. So I don't feel too bad about it, but it just stings a little bit having 32 points on your bench. Joe asks, so how do we feel about Joe Burrow? We talked about it earlier in the show. It's clear that his calf injury is still bothering him here a little bit. I do like him today against Tennessee. Tennessee, that's how you beat him. We've talked about it enough on this show for the past couple of weeks. That's how you beat Tennessee, is through the air, not on the ground. So Joe Mixon, I think, is going to get some work today, but I don't expect him to be too effective. He's going to get all the work. He's going to get the volume there. And maybe has a shot at a red zone score or a goal line score here. So fire up your T. Higgins, fire up your Jamar Chase. I think if this is a game where Joe Burrow can get right, this is it, right? So, and if you're asking me who do I like him between him and Stroud today, it's Joe Burrow. I don't think you need to overcomplicate it here. I think it's Joe Burrow by a mile. CJ Stroud, again, I think has a solid matchup today, but I just like the weapons that Burrow has, and the Bengals are not as bad as they've shown in the past couple of weeks. So give me Joe Burrow here. I'll take that to the bank. Dom says, won my baseball league because of this community. I still couldn't get action from the wife. Doesn't she understand the grind? Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But hey, congratulations on your baseball league, man. That's great. We're going to be doing a baseball show, send-off show tomorrow. So make sure you guys join us, me, Britton, and Michael Govier on the Palazzo Podcast, 2Ls2Zs on the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys join us for our send-off show for the baseball season. My O's, made the playoffs, won the AL East. I'm super stoked. Ready for playoff baseball. It's going to be fun. But this is a football podcast. So if you guys have questions, I'll stick around for a couple more minutes. Dom has some breaking news. Watson officially out for the Browns this week. That is good for me. I like that because I'm a Ravens fan. So I don't know who the backup is for Cleveland, but maybe Dom, if you have any more information on that, probably didn't look good in pregame warmups there for Deshaun Watson. So if you own Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, David Njoku, I think was also battling some type of injury as well there. It's going to be tough to fire those guys up. I think this is a good Jerome Ford game. Ravens are a little bit better on the ground than they are through the air. So it's going to be a low-scoring game for the Browns today. I think that helps them a lot. You're probably still starting Amari Cooper, though, unless you have better options. But let's see here. All of the money I won this season did buy me an afternoon of free time when she went to spend it. Donovan. All right, cool, man. So Watson's been officially ruled out if you guys are just now joining us, according to Dom Caboose. So, again, if you own Deshaun Watson, make sure you get him out of your lineups. And really, anybody that named Jerome Ford, I would probably get out of your lineups as well. So, does anybody know who the backup is for Cleveland, by the way? I know it used to be Jacoby Brissett, but he's no longer with them. He's with Washington. So, I don't know who. Here we go. Dorian Thompson Robinson is the backup to Watson. Okay. Well, hey, it's a good opportunity for him to show what he's got. Division AFC North matchup is not going to be a good one here for his first game as a starter. So we'll see. But all right. So we got about 5 more minutes left in the show. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys drop them in the chat. Happy to help out. I know we talked a little bit about him in today's show. I had a lineup decision between Christian Kirk and Adam Thielen. I went Adam Thielen today. I feel good about it so far. Christian Kirk's had a decent first half in the Jacksonville-Atlanta game. I just don't like starting anybody in that game not named Bijan Robinson with a across the pond trip there. It's really tough for those guys to get up for that game, and it's a different environment. And I just kind of scared me away from Christian Kirk, even though they had Zay Jones officially and Jamal Agnew ruled out. So I went Adam Thielen. So I'm hoping that pays off. But I need a big week for some of these guys. Bijan had a mediocre first half. I need Atlanta to get back in this game. We'll see how it goes. But especially with the stinker that I had from Aaron Jones, I needed more points, right? So I need Adam Thielen to produce today. I actually like him a lot. in PPR formats as well, even though Bryce Young is under center. So if you have Adam Thielen, I'd be looking to fire him up today in a revenge game against the Vikings. So we'll see how that game goes. The other matchups that I like today, I'm trying to think. I'm staying away from anybody in the Denver and Bears game. I know we got talked about it as well, but it's so tough for me to start anybody on these putrid offenses, right? Like both organizations are just shit shows right now, and I don't feel good about starting really anybody. I think it's going to be a messy game at that. A lot of turnovers. Who knows? This might be a good Javonte Williams game today. So if you own Javonte Williams, I'd be looking to fire him up against the doo-doo Bears. And if you guys were on our preseason kickoff show here, before the season even started, I said the Bears would be one of the worst teams in football. And in my opinion, they are the worst. They should be picking 1-1 next year. I was never in on Justin Fields as a quarterback. I like them as a runner, and the Bears aren't even utilizing him as a runner right now. Their offensive line sucks. They don't have any good receivers. Yes, I'm lumping in DJ Moore there as well. So I'd just be looking to stay away from anybody in that game. But I actually think the Vikings, like I said earlier, the Vikings-Panthers game is going to be fantasy gold. So if you own anybody in there, make sure you guys get those guys in your lineup. Game isn't completely out of hand yet. It's 17-0 at halftime in the Jaguars and Falcons game. For those of you guys who don't know or living under a rock, they're playing in London right now. They started at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, so they are at halftime right now. Trevor Lawrence has a score. They also have a pick six and a field goal. So Desmond Ridder looks terrible. I stood away from Drake London, Kyle Pitts, any of those guys. I hate Desmond Ridder. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I actually think the Falcons need to start utilizing Bijan Robinson a lot more instead of sprinkling in Tyler Algier and all that stuff. They need to get him going. The Falcons are a run-first football team. They got to make sure that they get him involved. Yes, I'm a little bit biased because he's on my home league, but again, he's one of the more elite running back prospects that we've seen in a long time. And if you watch this game earlier today, he caught a ball out of the backfield and juked a guy out of his shoes. Still didn't pick up the first down, but guy's explosive. He's their best playmaker. I don't trust Desmond Ridder as a quarterback. So, yeah. Anyways, I have the game pulled up here on my phone next to my laptop right now, and they're showing the Toy Story version of the Falcons and Jaguars. It's really, really funny. So this is cool. Donovan says Fields is a discount version of Taysom Hill. That's actually probably a pretty good comparison. I think he's a lot more athletic than Taysom Hill, maybe a little less physical. But, yeah, he runs the ball a shit ton. We talked about it earlier in the show. They just don't put any design packages in there for him to run, right? Last year I thought was a fluke as well because he just had a lot of broken coverage, a lot of plays where he's like playing backyard football and just running around and finds a seam and just busts it up the field and scores a touchdown. So I don't own any Justin Fields shares, and I'm glad I don't. So let's see. Dom says 4-point QB TD. Fields, Stafford, or Stroud this week. Oh, man. Give me Stafford here. I just like him the best as a quarterback here. Stafford's the play with Puka Nacua. The Colts don't scare me. Give me Stafford, but I don't feel good about it. I can't. There's no way that you feel good about starting Justin Fields today. CJ Stroud also probably has the second best matchup out of these groups of quarterbacks here, but I like Stafford the best. So Donovan says, I believe I said was live on the Out of Rhythm at least twice stating his trashness. Okay. I assume you're talking about Justin Fields. Yeah. You cannot be an NFL QB completing 55% of your passes. Yeah, that's true. I bet you they're kicking themselves in the ass for trading out of that first overall pick spot. They probably would have taken Bryce Young there. So, yeah, who knows? Justin Fields, for me, again, is a guy I'd be looking to unload if you can get something for him. If he has a good game today, sell high immediately. Get him off your teams. The dude's trash. Look to sell high to somebody who needs a quarterback, maybe the guy who owns Deshaun Watson or something like that. Get rid of Justin Fields. I shouldn't need to sell you pretty high on that either. You got about a minute and a half left. If you guys have your last minute rapid fire questions here, drop them in there. Let me know PPR, non-PPR, half point PPR, whatever it is. Drop them in the live chat. Happy to get your questions answered. Drop them in there. Let's see what you guys got. Rapid fire here. One more minute before I head off, and I go get ready for the day. And if nobody has anything, I'm happy to jump off as well. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you like and subscribe to this video, the Palazzo Podcast YouTube channel, 2 L's, 2 Z's. Oh, Joe, you asked a question. I apologize, sir. In my flex, I can go Nico Collins, Jacoby Myers, or Kamara, starting Ramondre over Kamara in my RB slot. All right, so you're looking between Collins, Jacoby Myers, and Kamara. I think it's Kamara here. I don't think it's particularly close either. I don't like Jacoby Myers with no Jimmy Garoppolo today. I know Michael really likes O'Connell. I need to see something from him first before I'm ready to fire him up. But I'd be looking to sit him. Nico Collins again versus Pittsburgh. I like him the second most, but Kamara here's the guy that I'd go. And especially if it's PPR too, I know Kamara's going to get some work out as a pass catching back. So give me Kamara there. Let's see. Donovan says, thanks, Mike. Enjoy your Sunday. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much. From Michael, who jumped off earlier, I'm Mike Virginia. Make sure you guys are following us. I am at MKB Fantasy on Twitter, aka X, and Michael can be found at MJ Govier. Make sure you just rewind this video. You can check out his Twitter handle if you're interested in following him. Make sure you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please, please, please make sure you do that. It's the best way to support the show and support myself and Michael. And then also, please go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. Leave us a 5-star rating. We'd greatly appreciate it. It's the best way to support us and support the show. And we really love doing this stuff. So, and we want to keep it going, and we want to make sure that everybody's on board and following the content. So, appreciate you guys very much. You guys have a great Sunday. I hope you win your leagues. Make sure you guys root for my boy Adam Thielen today. I'm hoping he has a big day in a revenge game versus the Vikings. For Michael, myself, peace out. Thank you guys very much. And I cannot leave the show today without leaving one of my favorite clips. For those of you guys who have not seen this movie, it's from Zach and Miri Make a Porno, Huck and Chuck at Football. We'll see you guys later. Have a good Sunday.
Fucking Roethlisberger, the quarterback, was all fucking hug it, chug it, football all night.
Later.